Good morning. Today I want to share with you really fast what I like to call the three-pronged approach to healing, because I've found over the years walking through just a lot of things, depression, anxiety, stress, overwhelm, health issues, the gamut, trauma, abuse, lots of things that I've experienced in my life, that when it comes time to heal, when you are in healing, that it's very important that we take a three-pronged approach to that. And the three-pronged approach corresponds with the fact that we are a three-part being, okay? So we have body, soul, and spirit. Our body is our physical presence on earth. It is our body, the physical matter that we inhabit on this earth, the vessel that we are moving through life in. Our mind, also known as our soul, is where our thoughts, will, and emotions live. This is where the thoughts are. This is where the emotions comes from. It's part of our personality, and that's our soul. Then we have a spirit, and our spirit is really the essence of our life, and is the part that is eternal, that is, as believers, redeemed and is made one with Christ. And so it's really important when we approach healing that we approach it from a holistic, whole person approach. Because if we just focus on the physical health, you're going to deal with a lot. You're still going to have mental health. There's still going to be potential spiritual health issues that are never addressed. Likewise, if you just focus on your mental health, yeah, there will be some ripple effects because there's a connection between the mind and the body. But if we just focus on the mental health and don't address the physical health, then you're still going to miss a component. There still can be health issues happening and things going on that we need to deal with, that will inhibit you from reaching the full healing. Same thing spiritually. If spiritually you're not healthy, if you're not plugged into the Lord, you're not feeding your spirit, and you're not aligned spiritually with where you're supposed to be, everything else gets out of whack. And so if you only focus on one or two instead of all three, things get out of alignment. You can spend so much time focusing on your spiritual health that you actually neglect your mental and physical health, and that actually decreases. And same thing with your mental, emotional, soul health and your physical health. We need to approach all three. And so this is what's really the reason why I'm bringing this up, why this is so important, is because this is even biblical, right? Jesus healed people before he started preaching to them, right? He lived with his example. He captured kind of their emotions by being himself. They were intrigued. Then he met their physical needs. He fed them. He healed them. And then he addressed their spiritual needs. And so Jesus had this three-pronged approach. So why do we think we don't need it? We do. And so I've just been thinking about that today, because having grown up in the church, I've seen the church I grew up in had this emphasis on spirituality and your spiritual health, but completely disregarded and poo-pooed and said that mental health wasn't a thing. I was raised in the fundamentalist, borderline cult-ish belief that, mental health isn't a thing and all you have to do is pray more and your depression will go away. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Just saying. Some people need actual physical help with their depression or anxiety or whatever. Medication is not a bad thing if it's where the Lord's leading you. Now, sometimes people can be too quick to go to medication and not address the mental and spiritual aspects as well. But if you're following a holistic approach, utilizing all the tools we have at our disposal is a good thing. So, this was just on my heart this morning as I was making one of my physical health things that I utilize. I utilize a supplement called Happy Juice. And it helps with my physical and mental health. It kind of has this combination effect. And I just finished my Devo, so I was like, this morning I like had a whole 2 hours of like pouring into myself as a holistic being. And because I woke up at like 5 to do that. And it got me thinking about you and how you also need that. You need to be poured into as a holistic being, 3-part being. And that's one of the things that makes my approach to supporting and mentoring so unique is a lot of coaches focus just on the mindset. A lot of coaches, they'll like really only focus on the mental part, the thoughts, the emotions. Not every coach, right? But a lot of them focus just on the mental. And then you have, there's spiritual leaders and mentors who focus just primarily on the spirit. And then you have health coaches and doctors and health professionals who focus just on the health. And then sometimes there'll be a crossover between, the health and the physical health and the mental health, or the spiritual health and the mental health. But very rarely do you see all 3 of them combined into one. And that's one of my unique approaches, is that I really make sure that we're looking at and exploring and addressing all 3 elements. And whether that looks like, encouraging you to make sure that you go see your doctor and have your, yearly checkup, making sure that, holding you accountable to follow, a plan that you set up for yourself. Whatever it is, physically, mentally, emotionally, there's all these components, but my approach is really unique, I've found, in this space, because I want to see you as a whole person, as a holistic person. I don't want to see you imbalanced. It's like as if you were to only exercise your arms. You'd get super buff up in your upper body, but then your legs are twigs. We don't want that. We want our whole being to be healthy and strong. And so that is something to think about. Where are you? Where's your disconnect? Because usually we go through ebbs and flows of like, there'll be seasons where our physical health is like on point, but maybe our mental health isn't the greatest, or our spiritual health needs some support, or vice versa. The mental health can be doing okay, but the physical health needs help, and the spiritual health is like kind of just skating. There's strengths and weaknesses in all the different components, and some areas are stronger than others at different points in our life. And so what I do as your mentor and your coach is to come alongside you and help you identify where are the gaps where we can bring balance. And I provide you with resources and support and trauma-aware accountability to bring that balance. So if that sounds interesting to you and you're curious to know more about how that works, comment call in the comments or send me a DM, and I have some slots open for free calls this week. So right now I'm giving away complimentary coaching calls from now until, I'm not sure yet, I haven't decided the deadline, but it's not all the time. I only open this up every couple months where I'll take some free calls and give people free calls for a season, and then the calendar closes while I focus on package clients that are working with me long term. So right now I have some spots available if you would like a complimentary coaching call, and this call is where we just dig in. We dig into the topic of your choice. You get support, you get coaching, and there's no strings attached. There's no hard pitch at the end. There's always the invitation that if you want to continue working together, we can explore that. But there's no sale pitch or like pressure sale. That's not what this is about. This is 100% about, I have some room in my calendar this week. I want to serve you. So if that is something that is of interest to you, just comment, call, or send me a DM, and we'll get you all hooked up with a free call. And I will talk to you later, friend.